I had an epiphany. And, when you start a podcast or you start creating content of any kind, one of the first things you have to do, it's one of the things I talk to my clients about, is you have to figure out who is your avatar. Who are you talking to? Who is your avatar? Who is your key listener? And for me, it's like I'm getting started with this. I'm like, I think I want to talk to small business owners and marketing people and things like that's kind of where when I started doing this. I'm only 8 episodes in, so I'm still brand new, but that was like my general idea of who it was. But I came to this realization today that this podcast, my avatar, this podcast is for the doers, not the talkers. That's the spectrum that I feel like. I mean, it's not just business owners, but just people in general. There are talkers and there are doers. And I feel like being a talker and being a doer, I think it's a spectrum. I don't think there's somebody that's like 100%. Well, there's some people that are 100% talkers, but even the doers do a little bit of talking. But what I'm talking about as I'm talking, being a talker, but I look at myself as a doer in the sense that I feel better about doing things before I go talk about them. And let me explain what I'm talking about here. We are in the heart of talker season right now because we're halfway, a little more than halfway through January. So it is just talker palooza on LinkedIn right now. Everybody's New Year resolution, new year, new me. Everybody's out there talk. All the good stuff that I'm going to do. I'm just this dry January and all this other stuff and just patting themselves on the back. Woo, we got this new year. And I just look at it and I'm like, cool story, bro. Now do it. Like, do it and then talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate the fact that that you need to be held accountable, that maybe you're holding yourself accountable by, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to tell everybody and that's going to help me stay on track. Okay. Maybe I don't operate that way. I know that's a school of thought. I know people believe it, but I look around and I mean, LinkedIn it's such a wild place. And I love when I get on a different social media platform and it's like, I know, I've started posting some things on LinkedIn and I know I have to be active there. And I would tell anybody to be active there. I know the business person in me understands the social media manager, I understand the landscape and I understand the platform and I understand that this is a great time to be putting content on LinkedIn. Holy shit, if it is not just a cringe fest over there. I mean, it is, and it's like I have to do it. I have to take part in it because I'm choosing to play this game. That's part of the game. That's part of the thing. It's like, well, you're going to, if you're going to own a business or if you're going to, be a professional in some capacity, it's like, you got to be on LinkedIn. That's where it is. It's like you being an influencer and be like, yeah, I hate Instagram back in 2015 or 16 or 17 or whatever. So you got to be over there. But, oh my God, it is just talk. Everybody's just talking. Everybody's talking. And it's different when, you know talkers and doers. And the older I get, the more I realize how important it is to separate yourself from the talkers to some capacity. Because the problem is, the talkers that I'm talking about, they're not necessarily bad people. I don't think they're bad people. Because I think that they have genuinely really good intentions, right? I don't think these are malicious people or evil people. They're not intentionally trying to steal your time. That's not their mind. And as a matter of fact, I feel like I have empathy for the talkers because a lot of them, they start and stop. They start and stop. And we all do that, right? I struggle with, for me, a great example is the gym. I don't talk about that a lot, but it's getting in there. I know I feel better when I lift weights. I know it's important as I get older. I know building muscle mass is a great thing to help with longevity. I understand all of it. But I don't get on and start posting about my workouts and things like that. Because for me, it's if I get to my goal weight, then I'll post about it. Hey, I kicked ass in the last year and a half, and I started doing this stuff. So I look at, and so I know what it's like to struggle with starting and stopping, But the talkers they will talk to you about things and they will bring you in and they will take you along for a ride. And then when it's time to actually do the thing that you're talking about, they'll either change it so you're doing something else, or they won't do it. And you can lose like months or a year to people like this. And again, they're not coming at it saying, hey, I'm going to waste 6 months of your time or a month of your time or a year of your time or whatever. Because in their mind, like they're living it. But when it comes time to like drop the hammer and execute, I think it's a lot of it is, and this is where the empathy comes in. I think a lot of it is fear. I think they're afraid to fail, or there's something that, you know, they're overthinking things. They have anxiety, you know, they think about stuff. And again, I completely empathize with that. But I also know that just from my experience, that the real magic happens when you just shut up and start doing it. You know what I mean? Like that's when things start to happen for you. That's when doors start to open. And like overthinking things and talking, like over talking things, it's important to talk things through. It's important to think things through. But at some point, you gotta just do it. You gotta do the shit. Like Nike, like be like Mike, you know? Let me throw it back to my old school friends, the Jordan stuff. Like you gotta just do stuff and stop talking and start doing it.